Howdy. Starting off with weather, we have still this very strong low pressure system, which in a way moves now up here. Let's see in which direction it will move after then. It's rather windy. I'm somewhere here. And that's the satellite picture, last 12 hours. And here we have these clouds and strong streams in the atmosphere. Now it's just gray. But some time ago, we had this kind of cloud. And you can see the trees are shaking, it's windy. Those dirty looking clouds, brown clouds or however you want to call them, they are much lower than those other ones. Some call them cirrus clouds. And in a way, sometimes they almost look like aurora borealis. They're plasma after all. Clouds are plasma. Yeah, that's actually the second time I tried to make this video. The first one just disappeared. All of a sudden it stopped and then it wasn't found. I couldn't find it anymore, anywhere. Just disappeared. These are the clouds. That's a picture with a little bit better resolution than the camera, the video camera, and that's a little bit enhanced. The same features, and you can see the filamentary structures and some perpendicular ordering within the cloud. Cloud. These are all features of plasma behavior. Very interesting. Now they are not visible anymore since it's just basically gray. Let's see if there's any precipitation happen today still or not. But made this yesterday, this video. Fire on Glacier 3000. And I made some interesting discoveries about the region there. There's like tons of stuff, but let me show you a few. So here we have Glacier 3000, which is the base station in the valley. And then it goes up to the mountain. And from there you can still continue even higher up. It is very interesting to watch the layering here. And if you go still more up, there's like Peak Walk by Tissa, Le Diableret. And as I checked this out, I noticed, yeah, I've been there once, at least once as a kid. And here we have the Ice Cathedral. And it's rather big. It's red-blue, rather dark. And also very interesting to see the sediments here. And very straight lines here on the roof. Yeah, that's rather interesting. Also these. They look in a way like sand on the shore where the waves came or come all the time to the same place. and create a standing wave made out of sand. These have somehow similar features. Maybe there is, every now and then, a steady flow of water going through there. I still think that glaciers are basically lava streams made of water, which means the glacier carrying mountain is a volcano, which means it will be active according to its own fluctuations, which are strongly connected with the electrical circuit of Earth. And here you can see once again the crack in the roof, which is rather straight compared to the round forms and shapes we have here on the side. And I was wondering, is there any possibility that these are these kind of places where gases emerge, which might even be warmer than the ice and therefore are melting the glacier from below? There has been one, here it is. Very interesting layering. And this might be due snowfall or not. I really would like to know what these are because they are looking red, which means it could be ferrous material, iron, in the glacier, in layers. So, when thinking about the glacier being this kind of lava stream, pours out of the mountain, and since it's so cold, it just freezes over, but it's the eruption. It's just continuing and it's pushing the glacier downhill because there are two different kinds of glaciers. The ones which are going down a slope and others, they're just spread in all directions. A glacier is spreading. It doesn't need a slope or a downhill in order to go forward. There are many glaciers like on flat land and they just spread all over the place. They grow also in calderas like Mount St. Helens. So, with this little thought play, if this red stuff here, this ferrous material, it could have also been coming from the ground itself, within the water, and it just got layered within the ice. And there is like this Tiso walk that's just people build these kind of things that you can check it out. It's a watch. Now, I'll show you now when I have been talking about this. Yeah. Hanging bridge. Can walk to a peak. Yeah, this would have been a funny place to build that thing there. I would have been there if anyone would have asked. For sure. Yeah, what a working place. Yes. Definitely. But 2,972 meters. Probably. Was it a Tissot watch or not? Yes, it is. Yes. Commercial. Yeah, it's going to shut down anyway soon, this Tissot brand. And they're rather big. Some of them are rather big. That's not that big one. But anyway, I wanted to show you this geological feature which has these roundings, I call them earrings, or however you want to put it. And some of them are very finely structured. There's a very distinctive layering going on. And there's even some places, like this one here. This seems to be darker than the surroundings. And I think it could be the reason for that. It's just wet, because there's water pouring out of the mountain. So, that's the Glacier 3000 thing we were now talking about. And if you turn around a bit, I have noticed here Pyramide Gypsy. Gypsum pyramids. And I have been talking about gypsum many times. Limestone, gypsum, cement, alkaline environment. Fossils get cementized. And in the, almost within the Alps, we have this limestone mountain. The pyramids of gypsum. And there is a very straight line within the clouds. There might be some energy exchange going on there as well. And the very interesting lake, I don't know which one this is, where do we have it, but it seems rather clear, at least partially. Maybe the same lake, maybe not, I don't know. So, now we are the glacial cave, gypsum pyramids, and there's still another thing I wanted to show you. Let's see if I find it. The first video I tried, I haven't. And just for the sake of science here, we have Leukerbad, which implies geothermal activity. Here must be close. St. Stefan, which is funny. Durbach. Rinderberg. Yes, actually, here I have spent several weeks on top of a mountain back in the days when being in school. Here, Kraftort, Wasser. So, I have been talking about those metal deposits in the glacier, or possible metal deposits in the glacier, since they are red. And I have been talking about they are being actual, like, in a way, volcanoes, which means there's something coming out of the mountain. And it can be rather much of whatever stuff is coming out of a mountain. It can be red lava, magma, everybody knows, like Hawaii, basic. Someone talking about the volcano, yeah, that's the first thing comes to your mind. But we also have learned that there is much more water in the crust store than anyone ever believed. So I think it's not too far-fetched to think about that there could be many places where it's just water coming out, which is also volcanic in nature. Geothermal activity and all this kind of stuff. And now, once again, with glacier, the red deposits in a layer. If the glacier is really this kind of eruptive thing, a lava stream made of water, there could be layering because according to the fluctuations. And now we check out Kraftort Wasser, which is some kilometers away from that, but still. Same country, same mountain range. It's red. It's white. There aren't too many pictures in here. And obviously this box is man-made. Someone tried to gather something there, probably deposits or whatsoever. These are I just show now you all the pictures of what are here on Google Earth about that. There's a red lake. A red lake. Really red. And if you take a closer look, it seems, at least, that the water is very clear, despite being very red. Something has been dissolved into the water. So now we have white rivers and red rivers. Now it's not yet a river, but it is a water stream. And it seems to be ferrous in nature. And here it might be somewhere. And I have been pointing out those red spots in the Alps and other places as well. Very often they are peatish in nature. And I have been checking out about this a bit more between my last video and this one. So, Diemtigtal Natuurpark Erlebnis. The Grimmiwasser Panoramic Mountain Hike. There is a little bit facts about that, short facts about also the place itself. It wasn't really easy to find more about that, but let's go with this. The place of power impresses with its wild character. A moor landscape, yes, peat, rare alpine flowers, and the red Foregonous springs act as natural energy dispensers. Yeah, conductivity. The attraction to magnetic forces, which imply also electrical forces. By this we are very quickly at all the electrical circuits we are in. You and I, our planet, our solar system, our galaxy. But back to the article. Earlier writings tell us that the heating properties of the springs at the rear of the Diemtigtal were also acknowledged by the seasonal workers of the Diemtigtal and their neighbors in the Simmental. Simme is a river, which might discharge into Limmat, or maybe not. But it goes into the Rhine, and therefore makes a connection to several volcanoes, Lachersee, Kaiserstuhlvulkano, and such. And energy always goes both directions. High up in the Grimmigtal, approximately 2,000 meters above sea level, the crystal clear spring rises from the stony ground at the foot of a colossal rock face. The effect of the water, these wells have brought lasting healing of old alignments and new, fresh life to hundreds of people far beyond the borders of the valleys. Often, even where all other help failed. Maybe I should go there. Summer after summer, in desperate cases also in winter, their water was fetched from the high alpine pastures with great difficulty in barrels and bottles. It had become customary to add bright red stones to the drinking water, supposedly to preserve its heating power, but certainly only to prove that the water had been drawn from the right sources. Which is obviously here. In the mountains, where the water is coming from. Yeah, not too far from there, there has been this fire on top of a glacier. And I'm quite sure that it has to do something with electricity. I'm waiting for getting some knowledge about, like, if they figure out what was the case or the cause of the fire. Was it 100% man-made? I mean, someone made a mistake and let some oven on or whatsoever stuff, heating elements failed or something. Has there been some accumulation on charge, on like charge does, it accumulates on peaks and edges. And there is this huge wire which connects the whole thing. So has there been some electrical surge in the environment and it just overpowered the electrical grid of the station and it started to burn? But let's see, that's still under investigation. And it would be really, really interesting. Just if they would say that the cause of the fire remains unknown, this would tell us already very much. But we gotta wait and see. Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting. You know, this also could be related to the quakes, the big ones, the sevens. There has been what, 4 or even 5, 7 magnitude 7 earthquakes, like northern of New Zealand has been 2, and then Taiwan, and now Mexico. There's a lot of empty space in between, which probably gets filled up with quakes too. Hence Europe, and I have been reporting about those 20 or whatsoever, haven't checked yet today. Should I? Yeah, let's dive into that quickly. Let's see, is there anything unconfirmed new? 23 hours ago, unconfirmed, still 2.6, but that's an old one. Here's a bigger one. Albstadt, Rottweil. Now let me show you, Albstadt isn't far from here, there, because that's a hot spot. It's not a big place, somewhere here, Albstadt here. And here's the quake. Albstadt. There has been a deeper one somewhere. Yeah, that's also interesting. That's from yesterday, I guess. 20 hours ago. But Schaffhausen, here we have the River Rhine and the huge waterfall of the River Rhine. Europe's largest plains waterfall. This is the Niagara Fall of Europe. There is also those Neanderthal caves somewhere here. I don't know exactly where they are. It's even a smaller place. And I never remember what it's called. And here we have Singen. And this one is Hohentwiel. Hohentwiel, which is a cryptodome. And check it out. There has been quite some building on this. Cryptodome is a volcano. There's water pouring out. Quellkuppel in German, also called. I try to remember what was it in English. Well dome. Water well dome. 1.7. Ulm, Deutschland. 38 kilometers in depth. Here is our Kaiserstuhl volcano. Probably extinct. And we were somewhere here. Andermatisentis. Where is Gstaad? Frutigen. No, I won't now search this. Kandersteg? Here we still are waiting for some bigger mountain coming down. Uschinensee, wherever it is it this one? Tallisee. Dubausee, no. Somewhere here. Tallisee, is it this one? Maybe, no. Uschinensee. Wherever it is. Must be somewhere here. They are waiting for this coming down. I guess. Yeah, this side. But anyway, I'll leave it here. Thanks. Bye.